What's the attraction of this relatively new market for an established investor like Nikko?
Well, I think there's two elements of the attractiveness. They are investments that are very transparent and accountable, and I think in the post-financial crisis, that makes them very attractive. But also, the SRI space has tended to focus on equities, and we think these green bonds are providing an opportunity for fixed income investors to get involved in that movement.
How do you put a value on green, environmental, ethical, that intangible sense of virtue?
Well, I think it's difficult because there have been attempts to form a quantitative metric about the impact of the green bonds, but I would focus more on the fact that these are very transparent. They give the end investor transparency of where the money's actually being directed to, and I think it's that intangible and that positive externality that makes them attractive.
And what's your view on a Kitemark system?
I have two views on that. I think in the long term it's probably going to be essential in order to expand the asset class, but I'm concerned that in the very short term that it will actually create more confusion and question marks and subjectivity as to what constitutes a green bond.
Do we need an index for green bonds?
My view on that is that we should try and make green bonds work within current mainstream indices and benchmarks. And therefore, when we set up the Green Bond Fund in conjunction with World Bank, we put standard industry benchmarks in place to compare it against. It does concern me that if you create new sub-indices, investors will begin to be concerned that they're not going to perform as well as current mainstream benchmarks.
And can Europe and the USA learn anything from the Japanese market?
I think from our own example at Nikko Asset Management, the clear lesson is to keep the product simple, clear and transparent. And I think when you try to overcomplicate it, the end investor becomes very confused and therefore reluctant to be involved. So that would be the main message.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.